Right now, though, Ozzie Jurik's on the line with me. Ozzie, I want to just start with very quickly, obviously in BC, one of the top stories has been real estate. Then again, it's been on top of that, the 15% foreign buyers tax. But I think it's going to be one of those classic situations. They're adding that tax a little too late. It also a whole bunch of debate about how they're doing it, what's doing. It's really a reply to a special interest group that got cheerleaded by the media, cheerleaded by opposition parties. But can we tell at this point if it's had any effect? On the overall market, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vancouver Real Estate Board president was quoted earlier saying this week that some 437 transactions didn't close because of it. But those numbers could be far larger because the chain of deals might be sort of extensive in so many areas. But the real hard numbers, sales were down already anyhow. You and I discussed that for the last 3 months, that detached home sales were down quite a bit, 30% or so. So when you look at last year between June 26 and July 10, the Fraser Valley last year was down about 25%. But since the tax, it's down 77% from 318 sales last year to 57. And if we get to Abbotsford, it's down 27% during that 2-week period before. And then 72% after the announcement. Again, the sharpest drop again in the single-family home. But sort of the eyebrow raiser is the North Shore. The first 8 days of the month last year, 21 homes sold in North Van. This year, 5. And in West Van, there was 29 sales, and this year, 1. So, yes, it had an impact.
Yeah, that's a definite slowdown in North Vancouver, West Vancouver. Those are eye-popping there. Again, the challenge is to sort of assess whether this is the start of a much bigger trend. But it is going to be interesting. I had said all along, be careful what you wish for on this one. Real estate is the most important industry in 7 out of 10 provinces. BC leading the way there. And I really do think this was a case of special interest group politics. And that just guarantees me more hate mail, Ozzie. But I do. And the government reacting because the media cheerleads without any kind of constraint. I see in some of the commentary I've heard that you've got, of course, political opportunism, with opposition as if, the message has got to be much bigger. Governments don't control the economy. They didn't have a magic dial. So that's why we got, to tone down. Let's just turn it down 8%. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Any things that you're seeing, though? Sorry, Ozzie, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And the other thing is, we don't know whether these numbers are going to continue down. But the stories people tell about them. And right now, the stories are pretty negative.
What about, any opportunity through this? Like I'm thinking of assignments. Somebody doesn't want to close.
Absolutely, you're right on. We had our meeting in our investment club last Monday, and that's the point we made. Look at this as an opportunity. There's quite a few people that don't have the long-term view like we hold. I hold the long-term we're going to be fine in real estate, but we have had big dips, and maybe one of the ways to benefit is to look on Craigslist and what is being assigned or assignments that are being offered. Right now, there's some 79 listings. I would expect that to increase as people want to readjust their portfolio or have less faith in the future.
Very interesting. Hey, I'm changing gears for a second, but again, I'm such a sucker for this because, I've been traveling back and forth in the summer and looking at this is the time you see a lot of advertising for buying recreational property on an island. And when I started getting those kind of feelings, the tingle in my toes, I know I better ask you about it.
Yeah, well, I'm actually in Secret Cove, my favorite marina on the West Coast, plus a first-class restaurant that's rated one of the top 5 romantic places in the world. So I love the islands. I love the Sunshine Coast. But in recreational island investing, sometimes you're laying on the beach and your wife looks at you and you look at the wife and you say, we should buy something. At that point, sometimes it's better to take a sharp stick and poke yourself in the behind.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the things that people should be aware of or don't get overwhelmed with, or over the top with?
Well, forget sometimes it took you 3 ferries to get there. And if it did take you 3 ferries and you spent your holidays there, but you'll never get there on a weekend, or buying on a no ferry island, like where you just have walk-on ferries, with a boat access only. I know people that own property up the Indian Arm, they never go there because it's hard to get there. Now, I love islands. A close-by island. You take Bowen, it's part of the Western municipality. It's a 20-minute ferry ride, a third of the cost of the land. Schooling is there and all. That makes sense. But generally speaking, further away islands. Where is the property on the island? Is it looking west? Is it southwest? try and think about where the afternoon sun is or the morning sun and what it is that you like to do. Water.
Let me ask you,
Yeah.
if I could just, the other thing that jumps out at me very quickly, Ozzie, is mortgaging more difficult here?
Oh, 100%. You know, you have in many places in the interior overall, but particularly on an island, maybe it's a local credit union. More often than not, it's the owner. And if you get the owner to carry, make sure you get a good long period. I would always shoot for 10 years so that you're safe when it comes renewal time, say in a year or two, and you can't find the money. So very, very important point.
The other thing you were just about to say, I know, is because I've heard these woes before, is obviously don't assume things. You don't have the same sewage as you do at home or the water that you do at home. I mean, don't overlook that stuff.
100%, because they say water well, good. Yeah, but is there enough water running to just brush your teeth? I mean, how many gallons an hour is it? Does your sewage field, conform to the regulations that were changed in the mid 2000s? You know, has the house passed inspection? So often on an island, the guy built it himself with a hammer and an axe. You know,
sure.
So you want to make sure that you really check things out.
And the other thing, of course, is that, I mean, it's a standard thing, but we got to remember, if you're getting a little too glassy-eyed over this stuff, you don't own the beach. The beach
100%.
may be great to lie on, but you don't own it. Yeah.
The property ends at the high water mark. And by the way, you can buy some waterfront property, but you have to be 100 meters away in any case, even to build. And you don't own the beach. And that's why some waterfront is really cheap. You can't build on it.
Okay, now saying that, I want to talk hot property here. I bet you've got something in the wilderness for me.
Yeah, we have a 150-mile house, a nice 12 acres, and the important thing here is on a paved road. It has power, gas, phone. These are things you really miss if you don't have them. Small pond, can park your RV, build a house over it, and it's on at $89,000. So that's one of our hot properties.
What about Harrison Hot Springs?
We like Harrison Hot Springs. It's a last big half-acre lot. You can. The neat thing is there's a subdivision potential, maybe a duplex or two houses, and it's on at $250,000. So that could be a money maker. And then we have a rancho in Agassiz, really lovely little town, 1,250 square feet, on for $349,000. Put 69. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, put $60,000 down, and your monthly payment is less than $1,400 a month. So that'd be a nice little retirement.
In Agassiz. Hey, you can get all that stuff at Jurok.com by going to the hot property button. JUROCK.com. Go to the hot property button. Ozzie, go out and enjoy Secret Cove.
Thank you very much. I am, and I will. I'm off to Thormanby Island.
Oh, okay. There you go. The thong capital of the world. That's Ozzie Jurok. He'll be there. There'll be a sighting on Hornby Island.